Hey guys, Lord here, back again with another edition of Throwback Thursdays, and what I have for you today is the Toy Biz Ghost Rider Spirits of Vengeance Johnny Blaze with light up chest action. In all honesty, this might be one of the better figures from this wave. We'll just have to wait and see, but before we get into the meat and taters of this review, since I no longer have the packaging for this figure, let's first take a look-see at his accessories, starting off with a glow-in-the-dark chain, which, other than the first Johnny Blaze I took a look at a couple of weeks ago, every single figure in this wave has come with a substantially sized glow-in-the-dark chain. I feel like his might be about the same as Outcast. This may actually be the same mold as Outcast based off the way it connects to the figure and his other accessory. This awesome looking shotgun, which is not reused from the first Johnny Blaze in this line, because the first Johnny Blaze in this line came with a shotgun that had a missile firing gimmick attached to it, a la every other figure from the mid-90s. So attaching this to the shotgun here, which can be easier said than done, I'm not gonna lie. There you go. And there is also a peg hole on his belt that you can attach this to. We'll take a closer look at that later when we take a look at his glow-in-the-dark feature, but a closer look at good old Johnny Blaze here. Not gonna lie, this may be, along with Outcast, probably the best figure in the wave. The exploding chest Danny Ketch was fine. The exploding Johnny Blaze was fine. Outcast was really solid. This guy is really solid. The Zarathos, not gonna lie, it's a bit of a letdown, but we'll talk about him next week. Now, he does have another feature, but before we get into that, his head does rotate, his arms rotate, he's got a single elbow, he's got swivel at the wrist, his hips actually have the ball hinges there, so they can kick out forward and back, and then he's got a single knee. But can I just say that most Marvel characters with like metal elements on them have like the same Colossus texture going on? This guy's got it, Deathlock's got it, Destroyer's got it. I'm sure there's an Iron Man and Ultron design that's got it. It just doesn't seem very original at this point. I've gotten so many Marvel characters with like metal armor plating that all just looks like Colossus. So that's kind of funny. And the other thing that's kind of funny is I paid a whopping $2 to $3 for this guy at one of the last conventions I went to. It's the same convention I got I vintage Scareglow and Mosquito from Masters of the Universe from. Actually, I think it was the same vendor. I bought this guy and I bought those two off him for like, I think a grand total of $15. So, considering the fact that this guy is complete and I think it's worth a lot more than $3, you can't beat it. I miss going to toy shows, man. I got all kinds of smoking deals there. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, he does have a couple other features that I do want to talk about here. The first of which being the obvious one I mentioned at the beginning of the video. His light up chest that still works. Check that out, man. That is really freaking cool. It is pretty bright in person. It's probably dimmed down a little bit over time, but the fact that I bought this guy and he still worked is crazy. So I'm going to have Mr. Brian, aka the old man, aka my dad, take out the batteries before I put this guy back on the shelf. But the other feature this guy has is removable armor plates. Now, I'm not sure if these flames glow in the dark. I'm very curious to know. But we're going to find out at the end of the video here. Take that off. There you go. Then he's got a flame on his leg there. And then he's got this eyepiece, which is kind of tricky to get off unless you have a nail. So bear with me here if I can get up underneath that. There we go. And there he is with all of his armor plates removed. You can see he's got the Ghost Rider eye there. He's got the flaming arm and he's got the flaming leg. Which looks really cool. I'm not going to lie. This is really freaking sweet. This is a figure I wish Hasbro would make. I mean, seriously, they could recycle some of the Deathlock figure to make him. I think he's got the appropriate build for this version of Johnny Blaze. But, man, this would make a really sick Marvel Legends figure. I really wish they would cut the BS and just give us some of these cooler Ghost Rider related characters, man. Being a huge Ghost Rider fan myself, it's obviously something I've wanted for many years. And it seems to be something that interests Dwight Stahl. It's just the exec, or the pencil pusher for the Marvel brand, is a turd sandwich. And that's why we're not getting all these cool characters. And that's why the HasLab is doing so poorly. But it is what it is, I suppose. I can't tell that guy what to do, or girl. I can tell them they suck, though. Because they're ruining the 50th anniversary of my favorite character with their stupid pencil-pushing nonsense. Which, if I can get this eyepiece back in here, that would be really swell. This is a super tiny piece. I'm surprised this thing was not lost. Because I can barely get it back in there. Is that it? Ah, there we go. But giving him his shotgun here, he does have a little peg hole on his belt. So if we plug this in, goes in somewhere around here. That's why it doesn't help to be visually impaired and doing toy reviews. All these little peg holes. I used to be able to do this in like 10 seconds. Now, not so much. Let's go right there, right? I'm literally just trying to peg this into his crotch, and it's just not working. Yeah, I don't know where that is. The crap. I should have double checked before I turned the camera on, huh? Yeah, this is annoying. What the hell? He's got a peg hole on his belt for this stinking little chain, and I can't seem to place it. I would think it would be right here. It's a big open area, but it is clearly not. This is the single most annoying. What the heck? Son of a bitch. This is a T-Biz moment if I ever had one. What the crap? Go in the hole, bro. Anyone see any good movies lately? I'm leaving this in. I'm not cutting this out. Everyone needs to see me fail once in a while. There we go. Son of a monkey. What the heck? Toy Biz. Jeez. But once you finally get the peg in the hole, that's what she said, after fumbling like a dipshiz, you could put the gun in his hand. Check that out. You know, if I didn't struggle to do that, you wouldn't know where that hole is. So laugh it up all you want in the comments, but you're welcome. Now you know where the hole is. If your chain ever pops out, it's right here by this yellow line. Still works. Still works. I guarantee you yours doesn't do that. So, joke's on you, sucker. But yeah, really dig this figure, man. One of the best in the wave, one of the best in the line. And if you're looking for comic book accuracy, this is actually a look Johnny Blaze rocked in the comics around this time. I'm guessing he got jacked up pretty bad, so he went and gave himself this cool armor here. But if you're looking for comic book accuracy, this is a look he did have when he was fighting alongside Danny Ketch and Vengeance in the Spirits of Vengeance comics. So, with that being said, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is our armored Johnny Blaze, next to the only other Johnny Blaze figure I have from this Toy Biz Ghost Rider Spirits of Vengeance line, the exploding Johnny Blaze, which is a more classic and traditional look for the character, albeit I don't think it's really accurate for the comics at this time, but it is nice to have that look nonetheless. And then, of course, we also have good old Danny Ketch, the star of the show, albeit very misrepresented in this wave, if that's what you want to call it. We only got one Danny Ketch figure, but I guess considering the fact we got two in the first wave, it makes sense to get two of the other Ghost Rider, good old Johnny Blaze, in this wave. But as you can see, the armored Johnny Blaze does scale quite nicely with the Danny Ketch, and I can only assume he scales quite nicely with the Vengeance as well. So if you want to have the quintessential Spirits of Vengeance team, I would highly recommend these two and the Vengeance figure. That would make for a really nice display. And last, but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, the Livid Spawn, as usual, towers over everyone. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while I do prefer a much more traditional look for good old Johnny Blaze here, out of all the Johnny Blaze figures we've gotten from this Toy Biz Ghost Rider Spirits of Vengeance series, this one is by far the most creative and the most fun. And I know I've said that in almost every single review this past week, so I'll shut up about that, but dang it all if it isn't true, because while I do like the Kamikaze Action Johnny Blaze we took a look at a couple of weeks ago, I really like the light-up chest on this, the armor, the removable armor plates to show the Hellfire power peeking through, and the glow-in-the-dark chain connected to the shotgun. It's just a more interesting figure, albeit not the look I prefer for the character, but if it's comic book accuracy you're looking for, this one is, as far as I'm concerned, more accurate to the source material around this time, because if memory serves me right, Johnny Blaze didn't rock his classic look around this time. He was either this or the version with the trench coat from the first series of this line, which in my opinion is kind of boring, so I'm glad that they made a second version of a more 90s style Johnny Blaze, because this figure right here, as far as I'm concerned, is the best Johnny Blaze we got from this line. Albeit he doesn't come with the motorcycle. Maybe you could pick that up on the secondary, but that piece is a bit of a white whale for this line, and I myself have yet to pick it up. So maybe someday, but not anytime soon. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's edition of Throwback Thursdays. If you are so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when we're almost done, man. One more week to go. I know it's November next week, but I don't care. It's my channel. I do what I want. And until next time, catch you guys later. And as promised, here is a closer look at good old Johnny Blaze's glow-in-the-dark feature. And unfortunately, poor Johnny Blaze gets the short end of the stick as far as glow-in-the-dark features in this wave of Ghost Rider figures from the fine folks over at Toy Biz is concerned, because alas, only the chain connecting his shotgun to his belt is all that glows in the dark. But hey, at least he does get that super cool light up chest feature, right? So with that being said, till next time, I'll catch you guys later.